That's right. Long gone is Mitch and Alex. Don't even remember who he is. Probably extinct from YouTube as well. You can't catch him anywhere. Forget him. We got Xander from We Fancy back in the studio. Good morning, Xander. How you doing?
Good. Thank you. Very, very, very well. Thank you for bringing me back here.
Of course. We weren't going to get rid of you after just a week.
I didn't do that badly last week.
You did perfectly fine, absolutely brilliantly, and I'm sure many of our listeners have also checked out your We Fancy channel, which is great, by the way.
I
It's
did
a
have
lot
some
of fun.
comments, Some people found me on Instagram as well, which is kind of cool.
No stalkers. Come back to us if there are any, and we'll whip them into shape somehow. And We Fancy, the YouTube channel, very food-centric. Hot Off the Shelf is kind of similar. A lot of the stuff that we do is food and drinks. But we want to do like other items that are cool and interesting in Korea that are frequently used. So I wonder, when you first came to Korea, apart from foods and stuff like that, what was like some cultural shocks or things like that that you experienced here? Or maybe some items that you thought, oh, that's interesting in Korea?
Oh, that is a tough one, actually.
I'm putting you on the spot here, Xander, but let me think of an example for myself. One thing that I love, I'm not sure if it is in the UK, well, they do have a version. You know, mothballs, like that keep your clothes free from moths. Apparently. So did you ever use those in the UK? Is that a thing?
To be honest, it's probably something you'd have to ask my mother.
Yeah, same for me. But when I came to Korea, especially as a young kid, I think it's a brand name, but I think I'm okay to say it one time. There's this thing called naphthalin, and it comes in these little plastic containers. You might see them in the toilets from time to time.
Like an air freshener kind of thing, right?
But it smells really chemically, right?
Oh.
But I love it.
That.
Yeah, me too. Like, I totally love it. Like, does that mean you as a kid were similar to me, Xander, that you like the smell of petrol? Oh, my goodness, yeah.
Yes.
Not so much these days, though. I don't know why. I don't know if I'm growing out of it. But when I was a kid, I would, like, roll down the window at the petrol station.
I used to love that. Maybe they changed the consistency of it or some of the chemicals in there to make it less fumey.
Maybe.
But I remember a nice hot summer day, being in the back of my mum's car, pulling for petrol, just roll that window down. Like, it's a little high.
So bad for you, right?
Yeah, it definitely is, yeah.
And these mothballs that they sell in Korea as well, again, I think it's really bad for you to like sniff them. I don't sniff them, okay? We're not condoning sniffing chemicals on the show. But when I can smell it on my clothes, I smile. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good scent to have.
Roll a bit more in there.
Yeah. I really like that.
New cologne maybe for you.
Yeah,
mothballs.
Maybe. I am running out, actually, so maybe I'll have to resort to that. But anything like that in terms of products or things that you saw in Korea that were like, oh, that's pretty cool.
I mean, if you go into the kind of the equivalent of like either the dollar store or like the cheap ones.
Oh, yeah.
There's lots of different items in there, but nothing really to me. I guess maybe I've been here so long now that I'm kind of accustomed to those kinds of things. But nothing that really springs right. I mean, there's lots of different types of pots, like kimchi pots and stuff, but that's not really like completely like out of the ordinary in a way. Are
you like a believer in, you know, the pot makes the dish? Because some people, for instant noodles, you know, there's that special ramyeon kind of tinny pot, which is kind of similar to the one we did last week, right?
Yeah.
They've got to cook it in there for that authentic flavour.
That's what Happy subscribes to. He doesn't like cooking ramen in the little cardboard things it comes from.
Okay, in the cups.
In fact, he doesn't even want to buy it in the cardboard cup because he says he's different than the ones that you get in the multi-pack.
I'm sorry, I'm with Happy on this one. Seriously.
See, I don't.
Do they taste similar to you?
I guess my taste buds are terrible because I really cannot tell the difference.
Because when you put it in a cup, I feel like, again, you just pour the boiling water in there. So it's not really cooking. It's kind of just laying in some fairly hot water.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're boiling it up on the stove, especially in that noodle pan, which I'm sure one time we'll do on Hot Off the Shelf as well, because that's
a gas stove
pretty cool. Yes, indeed.
Health and safety.
We'll be sniffing fumes again. But yeah, I feel like it adds an extra level of flavour to them.
Some people said that about, you know, like woks and things and like big cast iron skillets and like how to clean it, and they're like, you know, if you don't cook your steak in a cast iron skillet, then you're just ruining the steak. But these people like go above and beyond in their kind of food preparation. So
yeah, I think Koreans, in terms of like certain things for certain occasions, are quite good. Like for instance, weather. You know, they say you've got to eat a certain thing on weather, maybe some makgeolli and pajeon. Whereas I can't think in the UK, do we ever say for a certain weather, there's a certain dish. Maybe ice creams when it's hot, right?
When the ice cream man comes down the street with a little tune on.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I really don't think so.
That's why I think there's so many fans of Korea in its culture, because it's so interesting. Like, it's really built to be interesting to foreign cultures, which is why we're on the radio getting paid, I suppose. We should be grateful for this opportunity. Yeah, sorry. It's a charity work for Xander, part of his community service. Yeah. So today's topic, Xander, what have you brought in hot off the back of the lunch boxes last week, the tin ones?
Our intro was a little bit misleading when we're like, things to eat. But,
enjoy. You can enjoy these.
This is something that I know a bunch of my friends, or people, because I have a lot of friends from other countries, and they come to Korea and they like to do a lot of shopping.
Yes.
And the most bought things from tourists is either cosmetics.
Yeah.
Or foods. Or
one more.
These, it's like little fashion items. Little mini fashion items. And something that everybody needs.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I know anyone who doesn't wear shoes.
Sure, these days, yeah.
You know, and you need something to protect your feet from the shoe, because shoes can be quite abrasive.
Yeah.
It's socks.
You got socks. So if you're watching the YouTube rerun of this, so we are going to upload this onto YouTube, you can see the socks that we've got in our hands. We've got a few different varieties as well. And you may say, well, everyone wears socks all over the world. But in Korea, there are some ones that are distinctly like a Korean vibe to them, right?
Yes. These are known as character socks.
Okay, so we're going to start with the funny looking ones, right?
Yes.
These character socks. These are cool, I must say. I've never seen these character socks.
No, especially this one. This has got like a little headband on, and he's got like acne on his nose.
Got a US flag around his head, hasn't
bandana, he? Yeah. And what's that one over there? What's that?
He looks like he's maybe had too much to drink, or maybe he's sick. He's got X's for eyes.
Oh, no.
But the cool thing about these character socks, you've got to watch the video radio on YouTube later on if you're listening live now, is the hole where you put your foot is the mouth of this face. So that looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Yeah, this one, my one's got little teeth inside his mouth, which might chafe your skin a little bit, but they feel fairly smooth.
Like a little frilly thing.
Yeah.
That's cute, isn't it?
And these are both ankle socks, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, typically, if you're walking up and down the streets of Hongdae, you'll see these like either carts or full-on stores selling just socks.
I know.
Which are called Yangmao, right?
Yeah, Yangmao.
Like sheep talk. if you do like a bad translation.
Yeah, those characters, Yang being sheep and Mao being talk.
Yeah,
but you're right. I've seen the vendors on their stalls and carts, right, with like piles of socks. Yeah.
And you might look at these and be like, wow, they're so intricately designed. They must cost a fortune. But no, they're super cheap.
Yeah, especially from those stalls, right?
Yeah, and you think, like, this is a lot of patterns on there, you know. And if you were, I'm going to say it. If you were a kid, you'd be super excited. But these are popular with all ages of people.
Yeah,
it's just me being condescending to them.
Koreans
for kids.
have great socks because of the ubiquity of those stalls. And like you said, they are pretty cheap. I haven't bought socks from a place like that for ages, so I can't remember. Maybe a couple of $1,000 or something like that.
I think, yeah. And if you're not British and you can negotiate and you like to bargain people down, you can do that because buy more, get cheaper ones, you know. And they're not just like these faces. They come in a variety of different patterns and stuff. And some of them, which were definitely hot like a few years ago, especially when I came, you know, Psy. Huge.
Oh, the celebrity socks,
internationally known.
I'm pretty sure they were not like fully copyrighted, right? But they were everywhere, weren't they?
They were everywhere. You can get your size socks. Sometimes you can get ones with like food on them and stuff like that.
Korean money is a popular one. Have you seen that? Like the 10,000 won printed on your socks.
Yeah.
I was always like, if you're not a tourist, would you wear these? Would you buy them in Korea as a Korean?
Maybe. It could be like a fashion statement. The people at Hongdae are pretty, you know, out there with their fashion.
Hip and trendy.
Yeah, you know.
They know what they're doing. Maybe I need to follow along, right?
You're so rich you got money on your feet.
Yes. And even they had like the underpants as well with that printed on it.
Yeah, that's another thing. You can get nearly everything matching sets, which is great for couples.
Yes, you could wear the same 10,000 won money socks or underpants if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
I think what we're going to have to do is try some of these socks on in the song break, because I don't want to show our listeners our horrible feet. I'm speaking for myself there, Xander. Your feet may be beautiful.
Oh, no.
I don't want to find out, though. And then we will show you what these look like on your feet. They've got to look pretty cute, haven't they, with this little mouth thing. And look, I've even come up with a little game. You can pretend like you're sticking out a tongue.
Oh.
Look at my one.
Oh, wow. That's
Your
really
one's
cool.
got really fat lips. I'm not sure if that's offensive to people with fat lips.
It doesn't
right?
look the same as my mine. It just look, that would not be a tongue. So.
It looks weird, doesn't it? Tell us about what kind of socks you like in your countries. We've got some more interesting ones coming up next, some slipper socks and also individual toe ones as well that we'll talk about. Tell us about your footwear via the YouTube live stream or via our website. We're going to play our song. It's Sai, who you could find on Socks before. I'm not sure if he does official ones these days, though, right? Maybe.
Could be a good market, but maybe everyone's bought them.
He's not been #1 on the Billboard chart for a while, so maybe he needs some sock merchandise, yeah? This is Bell Bottoms, Napalbaji. A song all about bell-bottom trousers there, Napalbaji, or the flares. I love the video to that. Have you seen it with his massive flares?
I have.
He's rocking those.
I have.
Have you got flares?
I was going to ask you exactly the same thing. I missed the comeback. My sister's generation did, because she's 4 years older than me.
Okay.
She had flares when
Really?
she was like 17.
Wow.
Yeah, they went back to the whole ABBA kind of stages. But did you have flares?
I didn't know that they came back in fashion. Like, I'm not very
What's
up to
our
date in
age
fashion.
difference?
I was born in 1983, Xander.
Okay. No, my sister was 84.
So maybe it was a female thing, or maybe I'm a fashion disaster, because I remember at school there's one kid, I even remember his name was Arash Aframian, so if you're listening I do apologise in advance, because he unwittingly wore flares to school and he got teased so bad, so badly. I remember he was in tears, in the common room afterwards, and I felt really terrible. No. I was part of the people teasing. Never tease kids. It's not nice.
What was his last name?
Aframian.
So you called Flarium?
Yeah, that would go well. Yeah, there you go. He's a doctor now, so well done to him.
Well, he won.
Yes, exactly. He's winning at life.
Bullies.
Absolutely. We're not talking about flares, but something at the bottom of those. We're talking about socks today.
Socks.
And we did try on the ankle character socks, and it will be going out on the video on YouTube as some still cuts and videos, so check it out. They're quite comfy to put over the socks we're already wearing.
Double-layered socks, man.
Is that a thing? It was really nice.
I reckon, I've done it before when it's cold, and usually one pair of the socks gets more friction than the other. Don't know why though.
It gets worn out quicker.
Yeah.
I have done that actually, now I'm thinking, because when you said when it's cold, I was like, oh yeah, when I was playing football and it's freezing and you kick the ball with your toes, it hurts so bad, so I'd put on 2 or 3 socks, but it wouldn't actually help.
Maybe a shoe would help.
Yeah, instead of playing in my just socks on the football fields. Yeah, good tips, Xander. We are talking about socks, and we've talked about the character ankle socks, which are really cute and nice.
Yes.
But now for something a bit stranger, maybe a bit more functional. I don't know what the reason is, but toe socks.
Toe socks. Now, if you could see on the video, you probably think that I'm holding a pair of gloves.
They do look like gloves for people with really short fingers.
Short fingers.
And long hands.
Look how long they are.
Wow. They're like proper long socks, right? And the only difference is at the ends, they look really weird.
It looks like a child's drawing of an arm.
Yes.
like an arm, like the hand doesn't really appear, and it's just like, there's 5 fingers. I'll just draw these little
tiny
things.
little stumps.
Yeah. So basically, what these are for is to separate your toes out in your feet, in your shoe.
Which I guess is more hygienic, right?
Yes, apparently does help with I guess. Is it athlete's foot?
Yeah.
You know, when the skin gets a little too, maybe it's a little bit wet, and you get fungi growing on your feet.
And they kind of stick together.
Exactly,
your toes
you've got to put some powder on there.
Could I have one of those then? I will try and put one on while we're talking, okay? Because I've never worn these. Oh, they do have sides, so this is my left foot. Can I have the right one? Sorry, because it's easier to get to my foot there.
Okay.
Okay, continue, sorry.
Yeah, so basically, it separates your toes out so they can't touch each other, and I guess if you have any problems, keeps them dry, keeps them all warm.
But would it be comfortable? I've never. Have you ever worn these?
Never.
No. What turned you off about these?
Did you turn off your?
I've had to take off my old socks because otherwise my toes won't fit in. So I'm sorry if our writer was going to give these to anyone, because you can't. Oh, this is difficult to get on though, because like gloves.
Big toes.
I do actually for these socks. Maybe they have different toe sizes. This looks so weird. I feel like I've got a little monster on the end of my foot, like a baby's arm or something.
I reckon it must feel pretty good. weird. But yeah, but these are...
No, it's weird. Okay, all right, the camera's over there, so I'm going to try and get this up. Look at this.
Look at that.
Look, that's so strange. It feels so horrible. It looks disgusting.
I should have tried them on myself.
It's like a horror movie, I feel.
Yeah?
Like, no, it's really weird.
Are you quite sensitive in between the toes?
Like, I wash between my toes every day. Too much information. But yes, when I have a shower, like, I'll put the sponge in between.
OCD?
Because my dad, he had problems with his feet. So he used to love these socks because I think he had a bit of athlete's foot back in the day. And this would really help. And he'd love them in Korea. They are available in other countries as well.
Oh, yeah.
But you see them a lot at the sock stores here as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's, again, popular with the older people, the older men.
I think so,
who
right?
work long hours. You know, the older generations here work very long hours. They work very, very hard, and these definitely help them in keeping their feet happy. Happy feet.
I don't know. It just feels weird. Like I got little sausages on the end of my feet. I know I always have toes, but now that they're encased in this cotton,
I can feel them.
It's weird. Yeah. Oh, I feel like I should be picking up a pen and writing something with my foot.
Well, maybe you're not a fan, but there is a person, an idol, who does like it.
Seriously?
SF9's Hee-young.
He's been promoting these.
Yeah, apparently so. Like this is a quote, direct quote. When I wear regular socks, my toes feel like they're living in a confined space. Totally. I relate to that.
Reasonable.
I'm moving my toes in my shoes right now.
Do you often feel like they're trapped?
Yeah, they can be. If you've got wide feet like me, they do. But when I wear toe socks, they feel like they each living in their own home in comfort.
What a lovely quote.
Yes.
Is he getting paid to promote toe socks?
Maybe he has his own brand, his own line of toe socks.
Well, he should if he doesn't. I'm getting used to them now because this is the first time my toes have ever been separated like this. But now, it feels a little bit more airy in between my toes because they are separated, each space.
For sure.
Maybe I could get used to this.
Do you know there are actually like shoes like this?
Oh, I've seen them, yeah.
So they're like shoes that really skin tight.
Yeah.
And toes are separated, and on the bottom they have lots of like grip and stuff, and people use it for running, and they say like this is the natural way to run. Like
with your toes free, right?
We didn't evolve with shoes.
No, we
didn't.
No,
our feet are designed to move and jump around, and freeing the movement of having all that flexibility in your toes, especially in your foot as well.
It must help for running.
Yeah, they say that you can improve running and posture as well, apparently.
Maybe I'll give it a try in these toe socks. Okay.
Yeah.
We do still have one more type of sock to go, but before that, why don't we give our listeners a little personality test, okay? So we've got a question and some choices, and we'll give you the results afterwards. But Xander, can you take it away with the situation, okay?
Let's get serious for a second. Okay.
Imagine this.
Yes. Focus on my voice. Let's suppose that you're walking on a street.
Okay, I'm walking.
Okay, tap.
There we go, yeah.
When you noticed a sock store.
A sock store? Wow.
Well, it exists.
Okay.
They exist.
I've seen it.
Selling various adorable socks.
Oh, I can't imagine that much. This is getting difficult now,
Yeah.
Xander. Okay, all right, I'm there.
Okay. Which of the following socks would you buy?
That is the question. The $1 million question, okay?
Okay, so these got some 4 choices for you guys. So listen up. Number 1, mustache socks that are trending now.
Mustache socks?
They're the hottest ones. They got mustaches on them.
We're not talking about socks made of actual mustaches. That would be pretty gross.
Or furry mustaches attached now. The pattern is mustache.
That is really trendy at the moment, isn't it?
Oh,
just that
they're
mustache
everywhere.
thing.
They're on t-shirts.
Why is that a thing?
I don't know.
Okay, all right.
So that's number 1.
Yep.
The hottest item, okay? Mustache socks. Number 2.
Yeah.
Character socks.
Like we showed you earlier, the kind of ridiculous ones. Okay, yep.
Number 3. The plain white socks.
Plain white. Okay, traditional, I guess.
I can see where they're kind of going with these. Number 4, the red polka dot socks that are on the floor.
What?
Wow.
Why are they on the floor?
Who knows? It doesn't go into any detail. Maybe
Who would pick them up off the floor?
Well,
that's saying something about your personality.
We're going to find out in the personality test, won't we?
Okay, so there's your 4 options. So you've walked down the street, you notice a sock store selling various adorable socks. Number 1, moustache socks. Number 2, character. Number 3, plain white. Or number 4, red polka dot ones on the floor.
That's the key element of the 4th choice. They're on the floor.
I need one of our listeners to choose number 4, and then I need to come and meet you in person to see what type of person person you are.
Well, the answer's pretty good, so yeah, okay. Maybe you should.
Yeah, well, there's this thing at the moment. I'm doing a live experiment. I'm wearing the toe socks, and they are feeling better and better, Xander, seriously. But I can imagine if you're in a rush in the mornings, it's going to take you too long to get your toes all set, pro.
Exactly, that took you quite a long time to get
When I was putting them on, do you know what I thought of? My kids, who are 5 and 3, putting gloves on them is a nightmare. Like, they're just so ridiculously bad with their fingers. Like, 2 go in this hole, 3 go in another. And I'm like, kids, what's wrong with you? Yeah. Now I know.
Now you know.
It's not their fault. They can't control them like I can't control my toes.
At least these have one side for each, but maybe a pattern would be like a big L and an R would help.
That would help, definitely, with me. Okay, we'll play a song and we'll be back in part 3 with another type of footwear as well that you can wear in the homing career. This is Standing Egg featuring Yundak. It's Rainbow Mujike. We are back for part 3 of Hot Off the Shelf with Xander in the studio, joining us for week number 2 of his hopefully forever reign on #DailyK. Alex left us in a rush, we were devastated, but now we've got a replacement, an upgrade, as we said last week.
You weren't that sad off air.
No, I was actually dancing over the moon. But because our listeners, they liked him, I was trying to... All right, my true feelings. Good riddance, Alex. No, I'm kidding. If you're listening, Alex, please don't get the impression I dislike you. I loved having you on the show, but Xander's a lot of fun. And these toe socks are a lot of fun as well. Seriously, I'm going to take a picture of these and upload them onto social media. They could be the star of a horror movie, I feel, my feet in these.
The man with toed socks.
Are you not, tempted to try one on, Xander?
A little bit.
Yeah, maybe you can take the other one home and have some fun on your We Fancy YouTube channel.
Maybe.
Have you ever done socks on there?
Never.
That's a good thing to do. Like you said, the eating is the main thing, but I reckon maybe eating with these socks on.
Eating... Yeah, trying to eat with our feet, wearing these socks as gloves.
That's a perfect combination, isn't it? It's time, I feel, to reveal the answers for the sock personality test. But first, Xander, what's your answer to that? What pair of socks would you choose?
To be honest, I'd probably pick the mustache ones.
The mustache ones?
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually quite like that design.
Really? Do you have any things with mustaches on?
I used to have a shirt with a mustache on, which I bought my first holiday in Korea.
Oh, wow. Yeah. It was from Korea as well? Oh.
I bought it in one of them nice boutique-y, Myeongdong-y kind of stores.
Nice.
Fashion.
That thing has been trending for at least 4 or 5 years, right? That moustache thing. Because I saw it at my friend's wedding in the UK about 4 years ago. He had those... at each table at the reception, he had moustaches on little sticks so you could hold it up and take photos. And I was like, cute. What is this? And he was like, this is the new thing. And I was like, what do you mean? Moustaches are the new thing. Apparently, it's still going on today. I would have to say... I used to be massive into plain white socks. Like, all my socks would be white. Even if I was wearing black jeans and a black shirt, it would be white socks. And it would look ridiculous now, looking back. So, not white socks. Polka dot off the floor. No, why would you pick them up off the floor?
I've seen you pick stuff off of the floor.
I'm not doing that for something I'm paying money for. So, it'd be... I think I might say moustache socks as well, actually.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good choice. Right. I wholeheartedly agree. So
again, because they're trending and maybe I want to be up with the trends.
Exactly.
So, listeners, think of your answer and Xander's going to tell us what each one means. Let's start off with our one then. What does it mean for us? We're moustache sock lovers.
Okay, the moustache socks. Your ideal type is someone who is perfect in every way.
What? Isn't that everyone's ideal type? Someone who's perfect in every way?
Well, I guess we'll find out with the other answers. But you know how they usually say that you go for the mirror image of yourself, or like someone who's like a little bit like you.
So we're perfect.
So we're trying to find someone. You go over that. Yeah. Occasionally, you win over the other person, or you win over the person by being persistent, which can be perceived as an obsession.
Is that true for you, Xander?
Guess so.
Really?
In a way, maybe. I haven't been in a relationship for so long now.
Okay.
Are you obsessed with your wife?
Well, I
answer
should be.
Carefully.
Yeah, I am, absolutely. No, I can see me 100% in that, yeah. If I'm into someone, I would call them and text them fairly often, and sometimes it has put the other person off. Not to the point of a restraining order, but just a happy ground.
Exactly. And if you apply to other things, it means that you put a lot of effort into your work.
Yeah, okay,
which
that can
I would
be
totally
positive.
agree with, yeah.
All right, then what about character socks?
Well, you become attracted to someone who meets everything you look for in the opposite sex, like having the same hobbies and characteristics. Okay, so that, again, it's still good.
Makes sense to most people.
When you begin dating someone, your relationship tends to last a long time, but the chance of getting into a relationship is very low. So maybe I fit number 2 as well.
Really? Is it just relationships not often, but long term? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
That doesn't apply to
maybe
me.
Not.
So I'm glad that I
saying
didn't
it that way doesn't actually make sense. So no.
How about plain white socks? I'm feeling it might be negative.
Yeah, because but remember, this is what your initial answer was gonna be.
Yes.
You're like, yeah, plain white. Okay, so you don't have high expectations.
Oh dear. Glad I didn't choose this, and my wife's not listening.
Right. Although your ideal type is someone who's perfect. Okay. So good. She can listen again.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. You have low opinions about your own situation.
So maybe when I was going through my white sock phase, I had low self-esteem.
Yeah, and choose someone who seems like a good fit.
Okay.
Seems like you're settling.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, no. And when you are in a relationship, you're good at making your significant other do things for you.
That sounds quite manipulative.
Yeah, it's like, maybe a sandwich. Giving you white socks. But this doesn't mean you completely ignore the needs and wants of your significant other. You are actually a warm-hearted person who's considerate of your boyfriend or girlfriend.
Oh, that's a nice saving grace, I suppose.
Yeah, after all of that.
All right, and what I'm sure everyone is looking forward to and wants to know the meaning of red polka dot socks that are on the floor. You've chosen those.
Yeah.
Who would do that? What kind of person?
Apparently, Samantha, you're attracted to someone with a strong individuality who stands out.
Okay, those socks, they got red polka dots, I can see that, yeah.
Sometimes you date someone who's not popular, or date someone out of sympathy.
That's not very
I guess
nice.
that's pretty why you'd pick out the floor. Like, these poor socks are on the floor, no one's going to buy them. No, they're covered in dirt, like give them a little brush off.
I need to buy them.
Ask for a discount.
You got some motherly love there, okay.
Yeah, you hate to lose and get jealous very easily, so your relationship may not end up where you want it to.
Oh no. What an interesting little thing. I wonder, did any listeners choose that, like sincerely, because that's what it means then. You hate to lose and you get jealous very easily.
Yeah.
Stop being jealous right now while you're listening, okay? I'm here with Xander and you're not, okay? Just deal with it.
Deal with it, Alex. Stop messaging, Alex. Come on. Give it up, man.
We've now got time for one last kind of... We can't even call these socks, really. These are like an in-between, like a hybrid. How would you describe these, Xander?
Closest thing... Plimsolls.
Oh, plimsolls.
Yeah, it might be a word you haven't heard in a long time.
It's so long. Do they still use that word? Is that still a thing?
Well, obviously ours were rubber covered at the bottom, but I reckon some people obviously say I wouldn't know another word to describe those kinds of shit.
Do they
Slip-ons?
still wear those shoes? I wonder at school.
I reckon you got at any primary school in UK, you'll find everyone's wearing plimsolls in the exact same that grey, that darky grey colour.
If anyone doesn't know what we're talking about, that was like the uniform for PE in the UK, right? You got to wear plimsolls. They were the most ugly shoes you could imagine. Although I think they kind of make a comeback in fashion shoes these days, right? So they're kind of like that, but they're just made out of completely material, these things, right?
Yeah, I can imagine someone, I guess, wearing them inside, but or maybe like monks. I don't know why, but like in a temple or something. I could get, obviously not as patterned as these.
Yeah,
but, a nice.
These are like
nice
indoor slippers, kind of like outdoor shoes, but without a hard sole, right?
Yeah.
And so they're called tojin in Korean.
Okay.
I didn't know they had a name. And apparently they're almost exclusively for females, which seems a bit sexist to me.
What, do you want this pattern?
I don't mind.
Like
it looks comfortable. So our writer bought the biggest ones apparently, and my foot is definitely not going to fit in there. I've got these clean socks, so I can put them on the table.
Socks. Yeah. How big are your feet? What size are they?
They're like a size 10.5 in English size.
Yeah, I'm 9.5.
So yeah, they don't even get anywhere near my heels. But they do feel nice and cozy in there. It's a good match with the toe socks.
It's a little bit like a tea cozy, but less thick and for your feet. Yeah, I guess it's like, because, Koreans don't wear shoes in the house. They take them off at the door.
How were you with that, by the way?
Absolutely fine, because that's what my mum was like.
Really?
We have a big mat by the front door, and she'd be like, take your shoes off.
Really?
Don't walk out. Don't bring all that dirt from outside in our house.
From a young age, she would do that?
From the beginning, the real beginning, we were not allowed to wear shoes in the house.
Nice.
So when like, it's usually American people like, oh, it's so weird. Like, why do you take your shoes off at the door? It's like, I'm completely fine with that. But we never had that, like, that little shelf. Or like the little...
the ledge that kind of distinguishes between the shoes of a lower quality than us. Yeah. And then you step up onto the normal flooring and then it's socks. So that's where this comes from, isn't it? Because you don't wear shoes in the house here.
And, especially in some of maybe the winter months when you're waiting for the underdoor to turn on and stuff and, might be a little bit cold in the house, this would be nice. And, you don't get dust trapped on your feet, so you don't walk around lots of dirt.
No.
So yeah, I think this is very nice.
And I think, because I said I went through that white sock phase, white socks get so dirty on the bottom if you just wear them in the house without shoes.
Yeah.
So this would protect that from happening as well, these floral pattern little slippers. Yeah. Were you a slipper guy in the UK as well then, because you had to take your shoes off when you're going in?
My mum always wore slippers, so our house went through like a transition. So when we were young... there was still carpet on the floor everywhere.
Yeah, which was even traditionally a British thing. Yeah, me too. That's so weird.
People get really weirded out of it, yeah.
Yeah, because the carpet would get wet when you come out the bath. Yeah. And that's like mold central.
Yeah, but then you have like bath mats on top of it. So you still have the carpet, then you have other mats on top. But yeah. So, and then slowly as we got older and we started like, I guess, spilling things on the floor, she would slowly rip out the carpet room by room. And our house was all like... tiles, like stone tiles.
Okay.
Yeah,
so pretty cold.
Not
maybe.
really wood. So yeah, she would be like, my feet are cold, I'm wearing slippers. But as kids, we just run around. We didn't really care, to be honest. Yeah. So she would buy us slippers every now and again, but we wouldn't really like keep wearing them as much.
I see. No. Yeah, me too. I felt like slippers were imprisoning my feet. Like I'd run around in socks as well.
You have a thing about your feet, don't you?
I want them to be a bit free. And these toe socks, because I'm not wearing my shoes while these toe socks are on, they feel so good. They feel a bit chilly, but not too bad. But yeah, these are kind of, I guess, the equivalent to slippers, these Korean things that we're talking about now. I don't know the English name, but just maybe slipper socks would be good.
Oh, no, because slipper socks are like... those, but they have like little rubber pads on the bottom.
Oh, on the bottom,
and they're usually quite
they?
thick.
That's true, and you wear them in the winter a lot. So these are not.
So
those.
These are not. They're like really thin plimsoll thing
without a sole. Like the sole is just made out of the material.
It's something that you'd make in like an arts and crafts kind of thing. And they're very cute.
It would be a lovely present for anyone who doesn't wear shoes at home to wear these. Although I must say they'd be quite slippery on a wooden floor, right? You'd be skating along.
Maybe that's the fun in it.
Maybe that's what some housewives traditionally did, was skate
around the house.
I think you could clean the floor with this as well, as in if you just pushed a lot of your weight onto your foot and rubbed the floor. They look nice. My mum sometimes wore these, I must say. And I think these days you can get like Western style slippers for your house as well. We sometimes wear slippers in the winter when it's cold.
Right.
And we got some for the kids as well with some Velcro on them.
Speaking of shoes though in the house, like one of the interesting things that maybe people would not get is the kind of rubber shoe things that you wear in the bathroom. Because lots of the bathrooms or toilets in a lot of apartments, like one rooms and stuff, are basically essentially like a wet room.
Yeah,
the shower and the toilet is in one place, and some of them are very small, some of them are bigger. But a lot of people like to wear these kind of like shower shoes in a way where they kind of lift you off the ground a little bit,
like flip-flops.
So they stop your feet from really touching the ground, and you wear them into the bathroom, and then obviously don't wear them outside into the main area, but you take them off so they stay wet. And if you go in and you haven't had a shower, you can keep your feet like dry and stuff.
Yeah, it's a great idea, and you're right, that's a good cultural quirk, isn't it? When you enter the bathroom, you'll see these flip-flops on the floor, and some people, I guess if you're from the West, you'd be like, what are these? We're going to the beach or something. No, it is like Xander said, to keep your feet dry, because a lot of the time the floor is wet in the bathroom. I love that wet room kind of thing. It's so convenient because you can get water everywhere and it doesn't matter at all. Footwear. We've managed to do a whole episode on footwear that doesn't include shoes.
I sound very surprised that we actually managed
we should put that on our resumes. I'm sure we could get a job somewhere. Xander, thank you so much for coming in with that. Next week, maybe back to foods and drinks. We'll have to find out. In the meantime, check out Xander's YouTube channel with his YouTube mate. What do you call that? Colleague? Friend?
YouTube partner.
Yeah, there we go. We Fancy. How many times do you upload videos, by the way? Roughly.
It's meant to be like twice a week, but we kind of slipped out of that because we were working on a very big project. So
okie dokie. So you can maybe see them whenever Xander fancies. There you go. We'll see Xander back here in the studio next Monday.
See you then.
Bye bye. Time for some Mamamoo. This is Yes I Am. 나로 말할 것 같으면.